that?
Well, it would sometimes destroy parts of the city that were lost to the infected. Or to rebels.
That seems like overkill.
Well,
What's up gamers, the Phantom here from Primal Games, and this is another classic iGamer review of The Last of Us Part 2. Guys, thank you for so much for joining me on this video. Yeah, as you can see it, I'm playing The Last of Us here, and I just like to give you guys my insights on this much expected title that came out on the PlayStation 4. As you can see, first off, let's kick off with all the positives. For me, the game is really looking awesome. I like the city, I like the graphics, I like the details they put in it. I like the characters, I like everything they actually created, you know, in depth, the lighting, all of that stuff, you know, I think it's one of the most prettiest looking games out there today. I really do think that, you know, out of all the PlayStation 4 titles with the systems they are using, this one is really within the top two categories of the best graphics on that games can produce. As you can see in the distance, the buildings and stuff. So yeah, this was really nice, being able to go to the city for as it is in the first title, The Last of Us Part 1. You just have a real glimpse of the city and stuff like that. So it's really awesome to be able to go back into this lost world and be able to check things out, you know, thousands of years or a couple of years later in the storyline. And then also I do like they kept the weaponry as well as the carry bags on the back, the traveling and all of that stuff. They try to keep that as original as they can, and that's a way plus point in this game for me. Also, the technical part of upgrading and stuff like that wasn't too bad. I really enjoy that. So there's not a lot of upgrading work to do and modifying work to do, so that was quite awesome. And yeah, as you can see, you have much more freedom in this title, running around more freely in this environments they put us in. So this is also a really plus point for me, enjoying myself, just checking out stuff as you would have when you know, before the outbreak. I think it would have been awesome just to go back and you know, check out what happened to places that used to be crowded with people and stuff like that. So yeah, I think it's good. Overall, the gameplay itself is really nice. The fighting and stuff like that's also really nice. I haven't had any problems struggling to get my rhythm going, defending myself. So that was really quite awesome. Look, the game itself looks pretty and there's really a lot of detail. I think it's definitely one of the best looking PlayStation 4 games. There's some ratings out there, other gamers and industries giving it a really big rating, like 10 out of 10 and stuff like that. I don't think I fully agree with that. Like I said, I think there was supposed to be some stuff that I'll talk to you guys now in a second. I think that could have been done much better. So that's the positive sides, guys. I think, like I said, it's a pretty game. It looks great and awesome. It doesn't have graphical interferences, frequencies and stuff like that that's falling on and giving you a bad experience on screen. On screen it looks brilliant and stunning, and I'm glad that happened. But the negative side, let's get down to it. There's a lot of stuff on the internet and on YouTube about this game. I don't think it's as bad as they make it out to be. I really think that they could have made two improvements for me. The first is in the storyline. Now, I'm not going to spoil it to you guys. If you haven't played it, don't worry. I won't be sharing the story or any details on that. But from my point of view, if you have a deep story like the one that Neil had, I'll rather give the player two options that they can take to where the story can lead and may lead. If they done that, I think most of the YouTubers would have been quiet. If you can, just give the player the option of having the story going down this path or going down this path. And you can have a replay value even much better for the players to replay it to see what the different path is. And then the second thing is what I like to talk to you guys about is Ali's partner here. I'm riding with her. I don't know why they're always bringing Jewish to games and stuff like this, or especially this one. I reckon she's like a Jewish girl or something, and she's a lesbian. And for me, that's a no-go. I don't think if you do character development, please keep in mind what you are developing, and if you want to give them a status, please do that accordingly to what we expect. Then the other thing is I'm really a little bit disappointed in was the in-depth detail and storytelling of the infected and the way they got infected and stuff like that. Now, for me, the first one was a science fiction horror type of game, adventure taking on this path, and the second one is the same, but there's too much of character building, and that actually gives us a reason to why I think they could have explored that much more. In the sense that they do have new and different types of infected, but I would like to have it added more of that science fiction horror type of feeling to it towards the game, which I think that's lacking a bit when it comes to that part. There was too much of a character building thing, and you focus too much on certain people than on the situation you're still living in around you. Whether it's 4 years or 10 years or whatever, after the first game, still you have to keep in mind that that fiction and that horror would still play a big part. So for me, I would rate it out of 10. I'll give it a 9.5. And the reason for 9.5 is because of the lack of in-depth science fiction and horror, and as well as the first I told as the option that they could have gave us as players to choose the path for these characters and see where we end up at the end of the story. If they would have done that, I think most of us would have rated this as the best game ever made. Unfortunately, I can't give it a 10 out of 10, but I think a 9.5 would have been the biggest rating I would give it. And for me, like I said, I would like to have that option of choosing my story to play out differently, as well as a bigger and deeper feeling to the story when it comes to the infected and the situation they are currently still in. So guys, that wraps it up. I think when you play it, I do recommend you play it. I think it's still a good game. It's still a brilliant game to play. But I would have liked those two options to be in there. And so from the Phantom here at Primal Games, thank you so much for joining me, and keep on playing and keep safe, take it slow, and still let the good times roll as always. Phantom out.